Welcome to BOJ Radio. I'm your host, Jasmine.Paints. Once again, we bring you guys some fantastic content. I'm joined for this session today by Miss Jasmine. I'm not going to tell you guys all my secrets how I keep finding these fantastic peoples. As you can see, we have some wonderful, wonderful artwork. So the first thing that we're going to ask you is, how did you obtain this talent? Is it something that you learned in school? Did you go to an art school where you just learn how to put everything together where it's just so appealing to the eye? Has it been a natural talent? How did that come about?
I believe it's been a natural talent since I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
I've just always been that artistic kid. And luckily enough, I have parents that let me just express myself since I was younger. So even with my different bedrooms, they let me just decorate how I wanted it. So
Cool.
I'll have like a Tweety Bird when I was younger, Tweety Bird theme. And like one time I had a graffiti theme.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, in high school, I was in the IB program, and they had like art and dance and music. So I chose art for about 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Then I switched to dance. But yeah, it's just always been inside me.
Now, when you paint, do you do it as an inspiration? Is it something that you see around you? Is it things in the social sphere that just moves you to draw stuff, or do you do things because people request them?
A mixture of both.
A mixture of both.
Because
Okay.
I have commission pieces, like people will ask me, hey, I want this portrait done. And I say, okay, do you want anything specific, like in the background? Oh, no, just do you. So then I do their picture, and I throw the background in with my own style. And then on the opposing side, I just have like my own custom stuff.
Okay.
So,
Now, we're looking at like this Prince portrait, for example. How do you get these details? Like, you have it purple, obviously, because of his music. It's wonderful, and you got these petals on here. Do you think of these things as you come along? Do you like sit down and say, these are the things that I'm going to detail on each portrait that's different? How do you go about that?
It just comes along. It really does.
So it comes along naturally.
It comes because I started on this, and in the beginning, I just had the soft purple background. I had his face and the little white behind it, but I was like, that don't really speak to me how I need it to speak to me. So then I was like, all right, what can I add? Let me throw some gold in there. So crown, he's Prince. So, all right, but can't just be no regular crown. Let me have it popping off, and I'll just sit back and look at it and say, all right, let me add.
Got you. Now, is there people that you look up to? I mean, this is a vast industry of people who portrait. There's a lot of entrepreneurs out there. There's people well known. There's people not well known. Is there people that you look at every day, or there's people that you watch, or their YouTube videos or anything that you kind of use to make you better at what you do?
Not like on an everyday basis.
Okay.
It's kind of just all inner, but I do look at other people's Instagram pages and just on Facebook pages, and it encourages me to keep on doing what I'm doing, because there's people out there that's really doing their thing when it comes to art, when it comes to music, when it comes to any type of art. They're doing their thing, so it just pushes me. Or even if I go out somewhere and I see some art, I just don't look at the art. I'm like, details, zooming in the art, like, okay, so when I do my painting, this is what they did. Just by looking at it, I'm like, they probably did this. I'm going to try it. So,
have you ever been in any festivals? Has your art been featured anywhere? Has any celebrities say, hey, I want you to do this piece just like this, just for me? Have you had that happen to you just yet?
That would be so dope, though.
Okay.
But I have been in day parties.
Okay, cool.
Locally here. I've been to... had art at 3 different Day Spark events. The last one was at Whiskey North.
Okay. Carrollwood. Okay.
Yeah, I was out there with amongst a whole bunch of incredibly talented people, like fashion people, other artists, clothing So I've done a few of those. I've done some in Asia. They have art events there too, but no like big festivals yet.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So we're waiting on you to do that and then come back and then tell us how that experience is now that people look at you as like one of the icons in the industry. So would you ever consider, there's a lot of people out there that are working, and they're working because they have to, not because they want to. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming this is something that you love to do. At some point in the future, would you consider going into business for yourself, where you're like, hey, you know what? I think this is good enough, not just for me to have fun as an expression of myself, but also I can support myself.
Yes, I just did that. So I've been unemployed for about a week.
Okay.
So I quit my job. No, my last day was Wednesday.
Okay, so you take that leap.
I took that leap already.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah, the hustle is real.
Got you.
I just feel a lot of energy, and that's my passion. So I'm like, let me just go for it. I'm young, like I can still do what I want, really. So
got you.
Just go for it.
Do you get specific types of requests, or do they just range from all kinds of things that people want to see? Do you have like a specialty where you paint particularly artists, or maybe a cartoon? Like, how does that work?
It ranges. It's all over the place, especially when people ask for things. Usually people just want pictures of themselves or family members, anything like that, because who doesn't want to see a painting of themselves? But it ranges, and even with myself, I do everything from like real portraits, and I do like stencil style, I do like cartoons. It's just a combination of anything.
Well, your artwork is talented. I don't want to keep you too long today. The one last question I want to ask you is this. If you get a chance to do one of these of Obama, and he call you,
ooh.
He don't want this one, he want the big one.
Okay.
We just want to make sure you come back on the show and you share that with us.
Can I bring Obama with me?
You could, please do. There are so many questions that I would love to ask him. Please do that. So Miss Jasmine, thank you so much. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Juggy. This is Miss Jasmine. We're going to have a lot more coming in the future. Just stay tuned.
I'll paint all the world for you, baby. I'll paint all the world for you. I'll paint all the world for you. I'll paint all the world for you, baby.
Yeah, I wish you saw the bigger picture. I wish you saw the bigger picture. If I make it, I come back to get you. It's clear as day, but you don't see the vision. I wish you saw the bigger picture. What we got deserves some patience, cause this ain't no finger paint. I wish you saw the bigger picture. Beautiful and modern, all the same. But what's a photo if it's out of frame? I wish you saw the bigger picture. I pray you see the bigger picture. I call your phone, you don't pick up, you text me. Too late to come back, you say my art ain't even half the way it used to look. The colors that I chose to compose my last masterpiece wasn't worth the cover of a book. I listened as you ran on by Rembrandts and Van Goghs that I used to show you what's so pure at heart. Now all the pictures that I draw lately perfect my need to be basic, and all that shading tears your world apart. Pollock, I promise, you say it's scribble and scratch. I know you don't mean it, cause on your walls where it's set. It's not my best, I agree, but I did what I could with these sticks and these stones that get us out of the woods. I find my rhythm in my stroke, then you fall in love with my art like you did before. On that note, I let go. Intent to my canvas to paint a mural of us. I hope that you understand it, the bigger picture. If I make it, I come back to get you. It's clear as day, but you don't see the vision. I wish you saw the bigger picture. What we got deserves some patience, cause this ain't no finger paint. I wish you saw the bigger picture. Beautiful and modern, all the same. But what's a photo if it's out of frame? I wish you saw the bigger picture. I pray you see the bigger